the Arizona Cardinals season is really almost here. We're like a little over 60 days from the regular season, which is awesome. And believe it or not, we actually have a football game this month. July 30th, we have I'm assuming it's the Hall of Fame game. Now listen, preseason football, every year we get excited for it because we're just starved for football. And then we watch one quarter of preseason football. Not even one quarter. We watch one drive of preseason football, and we say the same thing every year. Holy cow, this sucks. This is like worse than college football bad. So we're still waiting on the real football to get here. But what I thought was interesting, and I actually got this idea. I don't like to steal ideas from people, but if I steal them, I'm going to give people credit for it. I was actually in the chat yesterday for PHNX Cardinals. I was doing my dishes, and I was like, my guys, I'm good friends with Bo. I'm good friends with Alex Clancy. I guess good would make it seem like we're closer than we are. I'm friends with both those guys, and really good dudes. And I was like, Johnny's not here. Let's see how Bo and Alex do over the last couple years, or over this show from the last couple years where they used to host Locked On Cardinals together. And I had other reasons why I was watching that, but I can't announce that yet. And just so we're clear, I'm not joining PHNX Sports. Like, I don't want it to make it seem like they offered me anything. That's not the case. There's other ideas going on in the background that I'll announce fairly soon here. But PHNX Sports was talking about like the biggest threat in the NFC West, or at least that's how I took it. And I guess they pissed off some San Francisco 49ers fans, which is great. But it got me thinking, are people actually aware on who the true threat in the NFC West is? Maybe it's a little murky, so let me help clear it up for you. The Seattle Seahawks probably should scare me, but they don't, and maybe they'll make me eat my words. The Los Angeles Rams and the San Francisco 49ers will both be competing for the NFC West. But to be fair, one team scares me way more than the other, and it ain't the San Francisco 49ers. Just the Los Angeles Rams should be the favorite for the NFC West. You guys watch this show because I think you appreciate my honesty. I'm not picking the Arizona Cardinals to win the NFC West. I am picking them to come in second, and that means that they could win the NFC West. But I'm not just going to pick the Cardinals to win the NFC West because it makes me feel good, or it makes you feel good. I'm going to pick it because I believe it. I think the Los Angeles Rams are going to win the NFC West because they're a team that scares me. And when you go position by position, quarterback, you could say that they have the better player. Wide receivers, you could say that they have the better wide receivers. You could say that they have the better running backs. You go through the quarterback, running back, wide receivers, offensive line, and the defense as a whole. Pass rush, mostly probably doing a lot of the carrying there, but those are all positions that they have the leverage in. And when you're talking about quarterback, running back, wide receiver, pass rush, offensive line, the Rams are the team that you should fear in the NFC West. The 49ers are going to be good this year, but they're going to be fake good because their schedule is more or less a joke. They don't play anyone. The Cardinals' schedule is kind of a joke too, but at least the Cardinals play Joe Burrow at the end of the year. The Niners don't play anyone. So they're going to win 9 or 10 games, but they're going to be the most fraudulent 9 or 10 win team, even 11 win team in the NFL. They're not going to play anyone. But look at the Niners roster. Offensive line is subpar. The pass rush is fine. I think Nick Bosa is probably one of the most overrated pass rushers in the NFL. Cornerbacks, they're okay. Safety, they lost Hufanga. They're okay. Running back, like we think Christian McCaffrey's going to be really good this year, but that phantom Achilles injury was really weird. Brock Purdy has not shown the ability to win without Deebo Samuel and Trent Williams both starting, so we got to keep an eye out for that. Trent Williams is an old player, and last year missed a couple of games because of a hamstring injury. The Cardinals if we're just talking about teams at their best, I think the Cardinals are better at the quarterback position. They're more recently better at the running back position because of injuries to Christian McCaffrey. Wide receiver position, you got Brandon Ayuk coming back from a torn ACL, but if you said pass catchers, Marvin Harrison Jr., Trey McBride, Michael Wilson over Ricky Pearsall, who I know nothing about, Brandon Ayuk on a torn ACL, and Juwan Jennings and George Kittle, I'd take the Cardinals there. Pass rush, I think the Cardinals and Niners at this point are fairly even though the Niners have Nick Bosa. I think he's incredibly overrated. The secondary, I don't think it's close. The Cardinals are better. Linebackers, yeah, the Niners are better at linebacker. But what has mattered less than linebacker over the last couple of years? Not many other positions. I don't see the Niners being very competitive this year in terms of winning a championship. Now, they might win 10 games because their schedule is incredibly easy and Kyle Shanahan is a freaking wizard. But outside of that, defense isn't great. Offensive line is not great. Running back is really thin outside of Christian McCaffrey, who had really weird injuries over the last season. Brandon Ayuk's coming off a torn ACL. Ricky Pearsall, he got shot. I don't know if that guy's ever going to, be the same. I wouldn't be if I did. Now, maybe it's not a big deal. Maybe he's totally fine, and I hope he is. I don't want someone who got shot to, have that affect his career. That'd be awful, especially for something so freak. But George Kittle, the Niners just don't scare me at all. The Rams do. The Seahawks maybe could steal a game because the Seahawks always do that against the Cardinals. But the Niners aren't a team that people should fear. Position by position, they're kind of weak, top-heavy. Depth isn't very good. I like their head coach. Their quarterback he's fine. But this is going to be the first year where Brock Purdy doesn't have the Avengers around him. And we've seen what he looks like when the Avengers aren't there. They're one Trent Williams injury away, which you don't hope for, from being very pedestrian. I wonder about Brock Purdy's life behind that offensive line. It's not great. That defense was incredibly spotty last year. If I'm not mistaken, Trevarius Ward is gone too. If you're a Cardinals fan, look at the Rams and say, we got to get them early. We got to try to beat that team because Kyren Williams, Puka Nacua, they stole Devontae Adams in free agency, who I still think is pretty good. We're not really sure, but I still think he's pretty good. I don't think he's a top 5 receiver or anything crazy like that. And then Matt Stafford, no signs of slowing down. The Rams were like a player or two away from being the Eagles last year. The Niners weren't. The Niners had their window to win a championship. And they squashed their opportunity. They made it twice, lost to the same team twice. If you're a Cardinals fan, who you should be fearing is not the Niners, and it ain't the Seahawks. In fact, I would say that for more or less, those teams are going to be jokes this year. I don't think Sam Darnold's going to replicate what he did without Kevin O'Connell and Justin Jefferson and who's the other guy that they have over there? The other wide receiver. Someone let me know in the chat. I forgot his name. How did I forget this dude's name? Anyways, good player on the opposite of Justin Jefferson, TJ Hawkinson, Aaron Jones. It's a stacked offensive roster. Someone needs to tell me who the other wide receiver is that is not Justin Jefferson because it's going to absolutely drive me insane. I'm not going to be able to finish the show. So someone in the chat let me know. I know Aaron is in there. Michael, Ivan, someone say something. But I don't expect him to be the same. And then, same as well with what the Niners are doing. So the Cardinals, I think, are a firm second place right now. And second place means that they're in striking distance and things could change. The Niners are going to win 10 games. Jordan Addison. Thank you, Aaron. God, freaking trying to figure out who it was. It's Jordan Addison. So sweet. The Niners are going to win games because the division is so poor and Kyle Shanahan is awesome. But they're not a team that you should fear. That Rams team, that's a team that's a Super Bowl contender. That team is good. Matt Stafford is a freaking amazing still. And when it still comes to Matt Stafford at 36 and Kyler Murray now, it's not close who the better quarterback is right now. It's Matt Stafford. And I don't think that that's I don't think I'm being unfair to Kyler. I think Matt Stafford's a top 7 guy in the league. So, when you're talking about who the Cardinals should fear, it's not some Niners team that are a bunch of has-beens. It's a Rams team that is loaded offensively. So with that being said, I think the Cardinals have a chance to win this division. I would not rule them out. Cardinals could go on a heater, especially in that first 6 weeks, and then do better of the end of the last 6 weeks, of the schedule, when they're going up against tough opponent after tough opponent, division winner after division winner. I believe that can be the case, and the Cardinals do well, or at least decent, in those last 6 weeks, and it gives them a better record than even we thought. Niners, give me a break. They're going to be upset about this. Maybe I'll make a break out of it. Niners fans will find it and be pissed at me. But it's just insecurity. If you have to keep telling me how awesome your team is, it leads me to believe that you don't even really think they're that good.